All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the crypto and crypto gaming metaverse AI markets today and look at that 1 hour chart on Bitcoin. The hourly is absolutely pumping. Everyone should be respecting the pump. 24.2. Literally, since I logged on, the price has gone up $200. I mean, like Bitcoin is up in the last hour, guys, 1.3% over the last hour and up 9%, almost 8.46% on the 24 hours. And, is this pump going to continue? I do. And I have been respecting the pump. If you've been watching In the Game, I have been saying that I believe alt season and Bitcoin, is going to pass through 24. Here we are through 24. I think everyone's going to aim for 25. I think, 24 to 27 is realistic. I'll go over why. And I'm going to talk about some altcoins that have definitely benefited from this pump already, and some that I think have a lot of catalysts in the works that are going to continue their narratives throughout this time period in the crypto gaming, metaverse, and AI industries. As always, be sure to like the video down below if you enjoy the content here on Crypto Banter and In the Game, and subscribe to the channel for videos and shows here every single day on Crypto Banter. And shout out to our top tier sponsors here on In the Game. Bybit, one of the leading exchanges in all of crypto, where you can do all of your trading. NordVPN, always navigate securely and safely during crypto. Never expose your IP address out there. Always be safe. Use a VPN. And SIDUS HEROES, our newest partner. Big shout out to SIDUS HEROES. I'm very bullish on the product that they are building. If you are not familiar with SIDUS HEROES, AAA, I would say intergalactic experience, as they call it, a mind-blowing multi-genre adventure. You can see SIDUSHeroes.com for more information there on SIDUS. And, if you really are looking for a AAA team putting a ton of emphasis on their product, SIDUS, the city of NFT heroes, the first AI-based web GL AAA level game. We'll talk a little bit more about SIDUS and what they're building later on in the show. As we mentioned their token last week is one that I was very bullish on as well. So shout out to SIDUS, a new sponsor on the show, and link in the description down below to check out all of our top tier sponsors here on In the Game. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the markets. As mentioned, Bitcoin's over 24,000. And if you go to the 24-hour, or you go to let's just say the 7 days, Senate, one of SIDUS's tokens, is up 70%. We have 𝗵𝗵𝘃 just continuing its run. I mean, 𝗵𝗵𝘃 has been an absolute monster. Tokenomics aside, money is going into quality during these markets, guys. And that right there is, quite the growth for 𝗵𝗵𝘃 during this time period. And I don't think, I did say on a show last week, I think that it still had some more in the tank because, money's just going to keep flowing into quality. But wow, up another 22% since $1. And it doesn't seem to have any signs of slowing down. Just one of the biggest benefactors of this market at this moment in time. And let me enlarge this a little bit more so we can have a closer look on the screen. Yeah, Dan, I mean, they're bringing the most games into the space. They're bringing, Undead Blocks, Illuvium, Ember Sword, Guild of Guardians. So it's no doubt the quality of product that they're bringing. And their token right now has been unstoppable in this market. So that's definitely awesome to see. And I want to quickly talk about something we saw this week in the crypto gaming industry, guys. This was hyped up for so long. We had so much anticipation for this Superbowl Add, 𝗔𝗫𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪, Gabe Leydon, and Limit Break, who now have raised $700 million. They raised another $200 million last week, by the way. So they go ahead and launch a Superbowl Add. And as G Money tweets here, sometimes I think we're making progress. And then this guy buys a Superbowl Add, follow to win. The cringiest part about it, this could have done so good for the industry. They could have made some actual advertisement that kind of talks about the technology, just to kind of get people's thought processes, thinking about, oh, that industry has something special, right? It was a QR code that led to the founder of Limit Break, the 𝗔𝗫𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 Superbowl Add redirects to Gabe Leydon's Twitter. Incredible. And it was just, he even had follow to win in his header. As we see here, could you imagine spending $7 million to get 800,000 and 100K followers? Doesn't sound like the best return on investment. And from the people that I spoke with, the sentiment is that this Superbowl Add that they ran in the crypto gaming industry, This Super Bowl ad was only tailored. The only people who got in were the NFT degens that were sitting right next to the computer with their ledger and with their MetaMask ready to go and ready to mint. So it was unfortunate. I don't think it brought any new users to this industry. I don't think we saw any new traction. Very unfortunate, and a big fumble and a big missed opportunity here from Limit Break and from 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀. If I have to be 100% honest, I'm super disappointed. And I think that it was kind of just a waste of money, waste of ad space, and free engagement, I guess, on Twitter. If they want to look at one positive, they definitely did get some engagement, if you want to look at it that way. But I don't think it was good for the industry whatsoever. As I mentioned here, I think it was a massive flop. Now, let's talk about a couple of projects that I do talk about consistently that are performing very well. And then we're going to get into a couple of projects and a deep dive on one that I think is a little overdue, but I think the narrative behind it has so much upside potential that you need to have the deep dive in your pocket on this project. So let's go ahead and get into it. Polygon, obviously, no brainer. And I think once we break through $1.30 and, if Bitcoin continues running up here past 24,000, Polygon's just going to keep running. As we were just talking about with Immutable, the money's going to go into quality. And they just minted over 1 million Reddit Super Bowl NFTs just during the Super Bowl, right before the big game, as they say here. You could Reddit claim those. You had so many business partnerships flocking, with Reddit, with Starbucks, with Meta, which is Instagram and Facebook. There's just so much you can look at under their umbrella. Gala, I see a lot of people in the chat spamming Gala. I'm watching Gala very closely, and I've been a holder for Gala for a long time. And I think that the upside potential here is tremendous. Talking recently with Jason Bitbender from the Gala team and from the Gala community, the amount of games that they're bringing, the 20 million users they onboarded with a new mobile studio. There's just so much under Gala's umbrella. It's kind of like Immutable in a way. It's almost undeniable, the product. And it's definitely one of the top overall projects in all of crypto gaming. And I think that it does need to be in your sights and in your stack. Vulcan Forged hanging around $4. The liquidity for alts just hasn't trickled down this far. It's those continuous top 100s, it's those top coins that are really getting a ton of that attention right now, and are right on the cusp of the top 100s. I don't think we've seen that liquidity flow down far enough yet to affect Vulcan Forge, but I do see so much more upside here if alt season and Bitcoin does continue to run. And as we see here, a recent update, Scaramucci and Skybridge Capital buying in on the biggest node, the Elysium Cronus node, as they tweeted this out just the other day on Valentine's Day. The first business entity to hold a Cronus node, which is the largest node in the Vulcan Forged ecosystem. ROI livery, hell of an entry on Gala there, as you see in the chat, 0.0002. 0.0002. That had to be very, very early on in the project. So very well done. And let's go ahead and get into the ecosystem that I want to do a deep dive on today. And it's running at the levels that Immutable X is, and Illuvium is, and AGIX has, and Sandbox has, right, in this recent pump. MATIC, I don't think, is done. And Treasure DAO, if you look deeper into their platform, it's really interesting and a really open opportunity for them to take the Arbitrum gaming market by hold and never let it go. Treasure DAO is in a unique position right now on a blockchain that I wouldn't say it's underdeveloped, but gaming on the platform is underdeveloped, and it is flocking to the platform. As we see here, all-time highs of about 378 back in April. We're looking at $1.85, and it was recently a little above $2, $2.10, $2.12. It has ran pretty well. You're right. And the reason I want to deep dive into this is because I think this narrative will continue. And I wouldn't buy on a green day. I wouldn't buy on a day that it's up 12%, for example. This is not me saying to buy this token whatsoever, but I think this is one that you need to watch for those big pullbacks. It just pulled back to $1.50. It just pulled back to $1.50 over the weekend. Anyone who got in on that $1.50 over the weekend was able to run up already 20% gains. I believe it even went down to $1.40. So, let's see. I think it did. Yeah, $1.45. So the reason I want you to keep this on your watch list, and the reason that you need to wait for a pullback, and I think that MATIC and Treasure DAO have so much runway in front of them. let's look at the platform first and foremost. As 𝗕☆𝗃𝗃 goes ahead in terms of themselves, decentralized gaming ecosystem bringing games, players together through magic. And if you look at their stats, it is pretty impressive. 267 million in total marketplace volume, over 10 games already in the 𝗕☆𝗃𝗃 ecosystem, 100K plus player ecosystem, as well as the leading 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗃 platform. That is why this is running so much. And a lot of games are starting to come to the platform. You have the Beacon, you have 𝗵𝗺𝗻, you have Tales of Valeria, which kind of looks like, I would say, a Legends of Zelda in a way. Very nostalgic look there. You have Battlefly, you have Smolverse, which is, I believe, already active. A lot of these games you can go ahead and already play, Realm, Bridgeworld, and more. So they have a lot of games already on the platform, on their marketplace as well. And as you see here, 26 plus integrated games in their own terms. So this is why 𝗕☆ is running so much. This is why this is probably in that same, right now, you should be adding it in your studio category. I think this should be on everyone's watch list. I think that this should definitely be something that you keep track of alongside those Galas, Vulcan Forged, Galas, Vulcan Forged, stuff like Magic, 𝗕☆𝗃𝗃, and then, the things that are incubating tons of games, like the blockchains, like Polygon, like 𝗕𝗵𝗆𝗄𝗃, etc. These are the platforms that are mass distributing tons and tons of games. And as mentioned, they have pretty solid ecosystems underneath their umbrella already with Battlefly and with these other products. And I think that, with the run that it's had already, it's going to kind of keep performing the way that Illuvium and the way that 𝗕𝗵𝗆𝗃 is, in my opinion. I think that the narrative behind 𝗕☆𝗃𝗃 is there. And I think that, you're going to continue to see upwards momentum and aggressive upwards momentum with the likes of like 𝗕𝗵𝗆𝗄𝗃, because this is where the liquidity is going. And the liquidity is not slowing down. We're seeing it up 12% today. Do not buy in on the 12% pump. Wait for a red day, but I think that Magic and 𝗕☆𘃗𝗃 needs to be on your watch list for the future whenever it does take a dip. And then the leading metaverse, which, hasn't ran yet. And I think this is the best looking metaverse product. We talked about this last week. I'm very bullish on Wilderworld. Super bullish on Wilderworld. Yeah, guys, so I'm seeing Blur a lot in the chat. I would never buy an airdrop token. Blur is going to pump a couple days after the airdrop, guys. Everyone just got their care packages. Everyone just got their big airdrops. They're going to go inject a bunch of liquidity in the market. Some people haven't sold their airdrops yet. I was out of town for a couple of days. I haven't even I haven't done anything with my Blur. So it's going to keep running. Some people are still holding it, and the speculators are going to invest in it while it does go up. Blur equals poo. Web3 me said it. It will not go up long term. I would guarantee you the token chart trajectory over the all is going to look just like SOS, is going to look just like Looks, is going to look just like all these big airdrop tokens in the past. The Blur narrative is going to die very, very quickly, in my opinion. But let's talk about the metaverse narrative. As we saw Saudi Arabia coming in with the sandbox, we're seeing Apple with the VR. There's just so many things leading into the metaverse. And I think one of the projects that's in the lower cap range, we're going to talk about some lower caps. We're going to talk about crypto gaming or metaverse, and we're going to talk about AI quickly. So as we see here, Wilderworld at 45 cents and at a $45 million market cap. I think it's undisputable that their product does look the best in the metaverse industry at this moment in time. As they say here, looking out and walking out to Miami for the first time. The detail in the game, the detail in the universe, just the way that the sun, the environment, the buildings are so built out. I truly haven't seen an experience like this in Web3 to this level of quality and detail. And I think that, Wilderworld is here to stay. Wilderworld's team is very top notch. And I think this is one of those low caps that needs to be on your watch list. So Wilderworld is the metaverse play that is my favorite in all of crypto at this moment in time. And I would keep your eye on Verasity. I think that if alt season continues, Verasity is really going to continue its run. I think that there's a lot of upside potential in Verasity if alt season and if Bitcoin does continue. Let's talk about a couple of AI tokens that I think haven't ran like Singularity and have like an Ocean and Fetch, right? So Covelant, helping a lot of API platforms and builders get in Web3 and be able to build apps, decentralized applications, GameFi applications, etc. Covelant, super quality product. And I think that it hasn't ran to the links of those other top AI tokens. Only $150 million fully diluted and a $79 million market cap. And Numeraire, AI hedge fund, basically, AI technology, AI trading. There's a lot there that I like. And Numeraire, I think Numeraire does have a lot of upside potential as well if this narrative and if this run continues, because the money hasn't slowed down in these industries. And I've said it forever that crypto gaming metaverse is going to be the biggest winner out of everything. I think that we do probably add AI to that stack long term. It's just those industries are probably going to be the absolute biggest sectors in not only Web3. They're going to be massive, multi-billion, potential trillion-dollar industries when it's all said and done. Elon Musk just wrote Singularity in his tweet. Singularity's probably pumping at this moment in time, if that's the case. Let's go take a look. Let's look up. It's AGIX, right? Believe. Yeah. No, hang on. I don't know why they've been doing this recently. There it is. No, it's not pumping. I mean, it's not tremendous pump. Well, a couple hours. It's pumping. All right. Maybe Elon did. MMC. We'll have to see. But let's go ahead and talk to the chat a little bit. Thank you, Dan. Just trying to keep it consistent and keep everyone, sharp in the markets. I think that I'm still very bullish in this uptrend. I think that alt season does continue, and I think that this run, and you got to respect the pump. So yeah, thank you, Dan. Thanks everyone in the chat. And let's hear a couple altcoins. Let's name a couple altcoins in the chat, and we can go over those. They were on CNBC. Wait, Dow or Net Hustle? Are those is Net a token? OP pumping? Yeah, I think Optimism does have a lot left in the tank, and the Optimism, it's like alongside of like an Aptos narrative in a way. Yeah, I think Optimism has a good amount of potential during the alt season. Let's try to keep it crypto gaming. Super very bullish. I think Elio is not going to let imposters fail, and Gigamart is also doing really well. I really like Gigamart's interface. I do like Super. ADA, I don't hold ADA. I would make a Becker joke, but reserve those for Becker. Affinity? If the engine narrative comes back around, Affinity could probably have some upside, but I haven't heard much from engine in a long time. And then just Ollie TV engine. Yeah, I feel like they just build undercover and they just build under the scenes. I don't hear a ton about engine. I don't hear a ton about Affinity. And I think that if they want more of that mainstream narrative around their projects, I think that they need to get out more front and center, because engine's always been pretty quiet, in my opinion. SIDUS. Oh, love SIDUS. I was actually going to dive into a couple things. Shout out to SIDUS, obviously, one of the new sponsors on the show. Big event last week in Dubai alongside Animoca Brands. They did win an award out there as well, which was awesome to see. It was like a 200 plus VCs visiting from all over the world. Also, their new Battle Royale game, mobile Battle Royale, is live. The Xena game by SIDUS Heroes. You can go ahead and take a look on the Android, PC, and Mac, and you can join the beta early. It's a mobile Battle Royale experience. And yeah, I mean, Senate is on out of all my watch list, Senate was up the most % as well. And that's a part of the SIDUS ecosystem. So yeah, very bullish on SIDUS. Kopi is a good Cardano game. I would agree. Cornucopias does look good. Render, the narrative's playing out and it's already ran quite a bit. Good project. Not something I would be chasing the pump on, though. MATIC, my favorite token, my favorite token, that's a blue chip, 100%. My favorite blue chip token is MATIC. I think it has the most long-term potential. And next bull run, that market cap is going to look ridiculous. If you look at the valuations from last time around too, with the quality of businesses that Polygon's bringing to the table, I think anyone now will be rewarded long-term for sure. Cypher looks good. Cypher looks like a really good product. The game's sharp, and they're improving it every day. Gold Fever, once again, looks like a good game. It kind of feels like the Uncharted of the blockchain, but their token, I haven't seen a lot of momentum behind their token in quite a while. I even got into it last bull run, and I think it's a really good project, but I don't hold any at the moment. And I think that, once again, kind of like some other games, they need to get out front more and bring their product to the masses to get a little more narrative behind them. Sinner, Mobland, still bullish on Mobland. I don't know. I don't talk about Sinner and talk about Mobland that much, but it's just because there's not a lot of consistent updates. And if there's not a lot of consistent updates on like every product in every project that we talk about on the show always comes with news, always comes with an update, right? So I think that if there's more developments, I'll absolutely be covering it, but still bullish on Mobland. Aptos narratives played out quite a bit. I wouldn't be chasing the pump just because it has done tremendously well in this market. Not something I would be chasing necessarily, but if it dipped enough, obviously, I think the Aptos token and project is very quality. ILV is probably going to continue running if alt season continues, no doubt. The quality of the game is there. We talked to Kieran either last week or the week before, and I mean, everything that they're building, their 10-year plan to keep this game from 20 to, well, you know, alive until 2020, or building plans, not even alive, 2032 building plans. It's absolutely crazy. And they definitely are looking at the long term, as he was mentioning. So I would definitely check out that interview with Kieran last week if you are bullish on Illuvium. Bornless is one of the best games out there right now, Dan. Bornless is one of the best games out there right now. Decimated game looks good. Token doesn't have enough liquidity and momentum for me to, and it's not wide enough listed yet for me to, you know, really buy into it. And I don't think it's the right time. I think Decimated needs to come out for a game. A lot of the time, a game needs product to have these narratives behind them, like Gods Unchained. So Paul, Gods Unchained. I think Gods Unchained has phenomenal. I don't think Gods Unchained's going to die. I think they were the first really, really, really good card game in the space. And if you look at traditionally the Hearthstones and the card games over time, those ones don't die. I think Gods Unchained's the OG. They're powered by 𝗵𝗵𝗋𝗋. They've ran the 𝗵𝗵𝗋𝗋 chain as far as volume. They're very consistent. Their user base is there. Yeah, I think Gods Unchained has so much potential, and I don't think they're going to die over years and years to come. Ronin, no. In my opinion, 𝗕𝗏𝗵𝗄𝗃 would need to have a lot. 𝗕𝗏𝗵𝗃, guys, Ronin is the Axie Infinity blockchain, and they don't have enough people building on it. I'm not bullish enough on Axie Infinity, despite the numbers of players that they still have today. I'm not bullish enough on Axie Infinity to bank on Ronin. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop out for the day. Like the video if you enjoyed today's show, and subscribe down below for shows here every single day on Banter and on In the Game. And I will catch you guys on the next one. As always, play well, my friends.
𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏